why don't you move to a different country? Why are you staying here? Young 10-year-old, very intelligent-looking young lady, a black young lady, who will not stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in her classroom. She doesn't want to stand up because apparently she believes that black Americans need a lot more to be done in this country. You know what I believe, Cornell? And I know you supported her publicly. I think at 10 years old, she has no real understanding of what America is. So I wonder if her parents have sat her down and explained what Americans have given their lives. White, black, red. It doesn't make any difference. They stood and they fought and they died for this country, and she doesn't want to do anything to honor them?
Matt, she comes from a family of military service members. Her father's is a retired military service member also, who served this nation well with great dignity.
Good.
Her mother's a very intelligent woman. What white people need to understand...
Just white people?
Yes, please. Let me explain. That national anthem was written by Francis Scott Key, a slave owner.
Oh, here we go.
Who demonized and hated black slaves and black people. Go research the third verse where he says, "There's no refuge in this country for the hireling or the slave. Both should be turmoil to the grave."
How's her parents do it?
This is a man
Are they successful?
that promised turmoil for black people to the grave. Would you ask Jewish children to say a pledge to a German anthem that disrespects Jewish people?
If they're
No, you
living
would
in
not.
Germany,
No,
sure.
you would not.
Well, sure.
That disrespects Jewish people?
Then
No,
why?
you would not.
You certainly can kneel down. In America, you have the right to do that.
America looked at the same way at Rosa Parks when she refused to get up and give up her seat to a white man on the bus. But history vindicated her. History vindicated her. America demonized Harriet Tubman for freeing slaves from slavery, but history vindicated her. So I say to that young girl, you stand strong, stand up, and stand for what you believe in. And to all of those who are too coward to do it, don't get in that young girl's way. Others like her, support that young girl.
What would you like her to say to the men and women who have fought for this country like I ran into over the weekend? The black men and women who fought for this country, and some who gave their lives.
And ask the black men and women who served America in its military, like in the Independence War. We helped America get it, and we were still slaves after. Ask those in Vietnam who gave their war on Vietnam battlefields, but then came back and was called niggas in their own country. We have fought in America's war, and we've never been given the justice and the due process of everybody else in this nation.
Then why don't you move to a different country? Why are you staying here if you don't like it?
Let me tell you why. Because the country belongs to Indians. You white folks stole it from them, raped and robbed their people. This not your country. You all came over here and stole it and beat the hell out of them. So this not your country.
It was my country.
You all need to go home.
If you're
you all need to go back where you came from.
If you don't like it, why don't you pack up and go?
Let the Indians decide who should pack up and go, and I guarantee you black folks will stay, and you all will be on the first damn boat leaving here. So don't try that, brother. You all didn't make America. This is not your country.
What you should do is sit down with someone who has fought for this country, Cornell. Get their opinion too.
Tons of black people have, and what have we gotten from it?
That Fox 26 interview with Cornell was not about the little black girl who did not want to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. That debate was about who gets to belong and who doesn't. Because Cornell explained calmly and historically why a little black child may not want to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, or the national anthem for that matter. He explained how the man who wrote that anthem was a slave owner who despised black people. He explained how black soldiers fought, bled, and then came home to a country that still called them slurs, still denied them the same freedoms they went and fought for those white people to have. He explained that freedom in America has always come with an asterisk for us. And so what did that white man do? He interrupted, he overtalked, he continued to dodge accountability, and then he pulled the oldest card in the book. Well, if you don't like it, why don't you just leave? And that question right there is the tell. Because white Americans cannot fathom why black and brown people will criticize a country that we still stay in. And that is because white Americans' nationalism is their identity, not principles. See, black, brown, and indigenous people have peoplehood. We have lineage, we have memory, we have culture that's older than the American flag. Our identity exists with or without America. And white Americans don't have that. Because remember, most of them were not nobles, they were not royalty, they were Europe's cast-offs, criminals, rapists, debtors, and the violently poor that were exported to stolen land. The society that put them on the bottom of the hierarchy rid themselves of them and then shipped them here where they built up a hierarchy that put them at the top. They invented whiteness to cling to. They invented something that gave them a sense of identity, something they could invent that made them think they were superior, and indoctrinated everyone else by threat of violence and force and death to believe that what they were inventing was true. They wrapped their entire self-worth in a nation that they felt that they could finally dominate. And that is why they cling to that flag, to the anthems, to the pledge, because that's all they have. So when we say, hey, this country harms us, they don't hear a call to repair. They instead hear a threat to their identity. When Quanell told him all the reasons why Black people believe that we should not have to stand up for an anthem or pledge our allegiance to a country that's never put us anywhere but at the bottom, that white man said, well, then why don't you leave? Because they hear a threat to their identity, that's why the solution is always for us to leave. But here's the part they choke on. Just like Quanell said, this country ain't theirs. This country was stolen from indigenous people, built by enslaved Africans, and maintained by exploited labor. We didn't come here chasing some dream. Our ancestors were brought here in chains. So don't ask us why we stay. Ask yourselves why you won't leave. I believe they will not leave because deep down they know that this nation, this country, this America is the only thing standing between them and finding out who they really are, the type of people they really come from. And that's why a Black child choosing to sit down for the Pledge of Allegiance threatens you, terrifies you, because it's not disrespectful, it's honest. Black people's relationship with white people in America has been one of narcissistic abuse, and it's just like a narcissist to say, don't talk about all the ways in which I hurt you. Congratulate me for giving you the smallest bit. Tell me how great I am. Don't look too closely about the wrongs I've done because that didn't happen. Just like a narcissist.
Why don't you move to a different country? Why are you staying here?
Tell me why they ask us, why don't we leave when they brought us here? Right? I didn't ride over here on a boat because we wanted to. Our family was brought here out of no goodwill and used as slaves. And on top of that, to this day, people still fight like this white man on the screen talking about how, well, why don't you leave? Well, why don't we all stop the hate? Because that's all this is. To have any kind of disregard for a different race, you purely and basically are saying, I'm dumb. Because what do you mean? Different cultures are beautiful. Different ethnicities are beautiful. Even the white people.
Defends Mexicans and Native Americans.
I told everybody that I'm in remission. I am cancer free, and I want to thank everybody that has prayed for me, that has come up to me and been so kind to me. And you know what? The Immigrant Free Day. I think about these individuals. You know something? When you do what I did, when you work hard, when you do what you're told, when you go where you're supposed to go, and you pray to God, then good things happen. If one day you decide you're going to do none of those things, then what may happen is exactly what happened to these so-called immigrants, many of them illegal, who decided not to go to work a particular day to somehow get across some kind of message. They get fired the next day. Welcome to America.
Matt, you know, I am happy that you're in remission. To God be the glory. But it is amazing how you could beat cancer and be in remission and your heart still be so cold and hard. It is amazing how you would speak that way about immigrants when you call them so-called immigrants. You're right, they're so-called immigrants.
Some are illegal.
Because they're only coming back home. Texas, Arizona, and California were stole from the Mexicans. So they're so-called immigrants because they're coming back home. And when you speak about if you work hard and do the right thing and be good to people, well, guess what? That's not the history or the legacy of your ancestors.
You got to come through the front door.
White folk didn't come through the front door. White folk kicked open the back door and killed everything else in between to conquer America.
Well, why do you,
they were not good to people that they met. They didn't show hospitality to the Indians.
You're trying to avoid what we're talking about.
They didn't do that.
Here.
They weren't hospitable.
You're trying to avoid what we're talking about here, and you're going to go back 200-300 years.
What I'm trying to do.
Why don't we talk about what's taking place over the weekend?
What I'm trying to do is try to tell white people like you, stop throwing rocks at the immigrants when you all live in a glass house. You all didn't come to America the right way or the godly way.
Yes, you do. You do the things the correct way. And in 2017, the correct thing to do is come through the front door. And these are people that snuck into this country. And so we're all supposed to allow that to happen? That's not how it works. You're not going to get what you're looking for.
And
you got to work. You got to come
Matt,
through the front door. I understand that.
I'm saying they should not have to sneak back into a territory that the legacy of that territory belonged to their own people. But let's just say for the sake of the law, they broke the law. Okay, I'll give you that. But at the end of the day, brother, where is the human compassion that the ancestors of Indians showed your community? You all won't show it to nobody else. But you want it all showed to you.
Let's stay in America. There was no America back, what you're talking about. You're taking something and trying to turn it into something that it's not. Let's talk about the rules and the laws that exist in the United States of America.
This is America, but America the beautiful has been America the ugly toward too many people of color. And all we want is the same thing you all enjoy, the complexion for the protection.
Well, I tell you what,
all got in America. We don't have that.
Do that when somebody crosses your property line and wants to come into your home and sit down in your living room and eat out of your refrigerator without ever asking you or without being a member of your family.
All the immigrants are not doing that. So stop that, brother. That's a hype. That's a lie, and it's racist, man.
It's not a hype. It's exactly what they want.
They're not all doing that.
He was talking bad about Mexicans, and he got put in his place.
Governor Greg Abbott wants to make sure that Houston, the city of Houston, is put under the same microscope as any city that isn't allowed legally to be the quote-unquote sanctuary city. And this is what we do here in the city of Houston. People come into the city of Houston illegally. They're allowed to stay. There is only so much that our law enforcement officers are willing to do, that the DEA is willing to do, that the border agents are willing to do. Why in the world don't we go after those that are here? Well, that's what Abbott wants to change, and I agree. And as soon as we make sure that in the state of Texas, if Houston keeps conducting itself the same way that San Antonio and other cities conduct themselves, then no money is coming to Houston from the state. We need to do that on a state level. We also need to do it on a federal level.
But Matt, my problem with this is, why are we so worried about getting rid of all of the Mexicans or Hispanics that are quote unquote here, if they're illegal or not? At the end of the day, many of them are paying taxes. Many of them have been here for generations and decades. And Matt, trying to get rid of 4 or 5 or 3 million people all at once is not going to work. We don't have the resources.
We don't have to do it all.
And secondly, Matt, listen, there is no such thing as an illegal Mexican immigrant coming into Texas, because they're only coming home. Texas, Arizona, and California was stole from the Mexicans.
Don't start
this.
This
all belongs to them. So they're only coming home, and then here it is. You white folks stole the land from the Indians, but yet you're the natural, real illegal immigrant.
So let's start with the things you said that are already wrong. First of all, they're coming here. They're not paying any taxes. You're telling me they're paying taxes? They're not paying taxes.
Matt,
nobody knows who the heck they are. No, they're not paying any taxes.
Matt, when they buy a product, they pay a tax on it.
Let's continue.
When they buy a car, they pay a tax on it.
You come into this country illegally. That is a law that you're breaking. And that's why they have to be sent back to wherever they came from. They want to come through the front door. That is the correct way to come in. And the city of Houston has to stop allowing this, or we're never going to get them to stop coming in here. Look, that's what we got to do. Follow the law.
But Matt, where is the compassion that the indigenous Indians had for white people in this country?
Why do you keep going backwards?
They let you all come in.
What are you going backwards?
And you came in and raised a whole lot of hell.
Don't start.
Trump
Start
called
bringing up
Mexicans
history and try and
racist. He
explain
called
what's
them
going on
criminals.
today.
Trump called the Mexicans illegal criminals coming into America. Well, the biggest illegal criminal ever coming to America was white people.
So you don't give a damn if people break into this country?
I don't give a damn.
I wonder what's going to happen when they come and rob your house.
I don't give a damn about hypocrites who came here illegally and stole all of this and now want to blame them for only coming back home. To all of the Mexicans, don't worry about this. Just keep having babies, and in 30 years, all these white folks will be under your control.
To Americans, let's stand up and do what the hell we're supposed to do and stop letting the city of Houston be an open door. This ain't no sanctuary city.
Don't listen to that.
This is a real city.
Just keep having.
I think this is a fantastic law. It is time to start enforcing the laws that are on the books instead of the state and local officials legislating from their own little tiny offices.
It's an awful law because it's nothing more than a legal way for law enforcement to racially profile Mexicans and Hispanics. I would say to the Hispanic and Mexican community, what you got to do now, hook up with the black community and unite in political power. Because if Mexicans and black people unite in Texas, we can control the governor, we can control the lieutenant governor, and we can control politics in Texas, period. I'm saying to Latino brothers and sisters, don't fight them by yourself. If you hook up with black people and we unite, I'm telling you, we can run Texas and then pass laws to deal with those who hate us.
You're advocating for criminal activity, Quanell. These people are not here lawfully. They need to do what our ancestors did, what many Mexicans have done.
No, wait a minute.
Many, don't interrupt me.
Your ancestors came here illegally. Wasn't nothing legal about your ancestors.
Listen.
They came illegally and they murdered, they raped, they pillaged a whole race of people. This country, Texas, Arizona, and California, belongs to the Mexicans.
Quanell, get back
it was
to the
stole from them.
You
so
tell me to get back to the point.
Ancestors, they came here illegally.
No, you're not being fair to me here. You say stay on topic. I say, okay, we'll stay on topic. And then as soon as we start talking about illegal immigration, you go back to the black issue. Let's stay on topic.
Your ancestors are the master illegal immigrants.
Give me the opportunity to respond in that, you know what? We're all Americans here. And if you are here legally, absolutely. Then we need to come together and we need to pass good laws for enforcing the laws.
Well, perhaps the Native Americans should have passed laws against your ancestors.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. And this whole issue has become a very big one. And the beginning of it was actually a very small case. It was a case of a little girl that decided that she doesn't see it fit to, do what is considered normal and what should actually be, because it's the white people in question. So she decided that she's not going to do this, and it's for valid reasons. For one, that our history tells us everything that we need to know and how we are supposed to react now to everything that happens to us. The black people have not been given that kind of respect, that kind of environment to make them feel like they also belong here. They have not been valued. They have not had the fruits of all the labor that they had to put into as they talk about the fight of, making America great. Our forefathers have fought for America, and there's nothing to show for it. And this is exactly what people are explaining, and the white man will make sure not to understand anything because it does not sit right with what they want to believe. The black person has been looked down upon for a very long time. And someone raising a case of the person that wrote the anthem was actually a person that hated black people. How do you mean it is supposed to be okay for a black person then to bow to that kind of an anthem that was written by a person of that nature, someone that tormented black people, someone that has made your life a living hell? How are you supposed to get past that and just behave as if nothing happened? It is totally uncalled for, and you see, the whole interview came to almost a standstill when the guy mentioned the case of this card that they always bring up, where once they feel like you have overtaken them in thought, they come up with this card of, why then don't you go back to Africa where you belong? And they don't like the answer because it does not sit right with them. And, they're the ones that feel a sense of belonging. They wish, I know, if there is something that they really wish was if America was theirs from, legally, and if it was if they were the original people of America, it would be a different debate, because then I don't think we would even be given a chance to speak. I want to agree with the lady that said that whole debate was not supposed to be about the child. That whole debate was about this man trying to air his card of, why don't you go back to Africa? That you do not belong here. This is not your home. This is not where you're supposed to be. That was what he was trying to do the whole time. But unfortunately for him, he found his match. A perfect match, I think. Yeah, because you also came here You stole this land from other people. You killed people. You are violent. And you did everything outrageous that someone can ever think of. You raped people, just to own that land. Where do you get the audacity then to call other people and say they do not belong here? How do you belong here yourself? Calling black people illegal in this country then means that you are the ones that belong to the United States. Well, you don't. We know the truth. You don't. You have hidden that in history. You have made sure that the black people have learned a history that is not true. And I'm not even talking about only the black people in the United States. I'm even talking about black people in, for example, Africa and other parts of the world. The history that we are taught in schools is only to glorify the white man. There's nothing about the achievements of a black person. There's nothing about a black person conquering anything. And this begs to question, does it mean that black people never were good at anything? That they never achieved anything? They were never shining at anything at all? The history that they have sold to us in Africa is that white people are superior, white people are the best, white people are the ones that know what they are doing, white people are all of it, every good thing that you can ever think of. Even God, they came to sell as their God because they felt like Africans did not have a God enough, or the God that we had as African people was not good enough. So they come to sell their God, and if you're well read, you definitely understand that that was not even a case of selling a God, because you're actually not fit in the first place to tell people that you have made go through a lot and crazy things. You cannot be the person that comes to sell God to them. You cannot be the person to sell love to them, because in the first place, you're the one who is supposed to be learning about love. Maybe learn from them. They come to sell the gospel. They come to sell the Bible. They come to sell religion because they still want to gain the control that they had in the past. Unfortunately for them, people are now woke. People know what happened. People are doing their research. People are engaging in these talks. People are going an extra mile to know what happened to our forefathers. And that is upsetting them every now and then. They are uncomfortable. They don't know what to do anymore, because that was the only card that they had, keeping us in ignorance, making us think that everything they said in their books, everything they voiced out is the truth. But now when we come to learn that everything they told us was a lie to begin with, and if you want to know how dangerous that is, look at the young people, young white people. And I'm not talking about everyone. I know there are white people that are good, but I'm talking about this a lot that think that Africans and black people in general are close to nothing, I don't even know if I should say close to nothing or it's nothing at all. Young people, without even doing any research, without knowing any truth, without any facts with them, they will come out in numbers to praise their own and speak disgustingly about black people and voice out things that sometimes you wonder, is this someone that I'm even supposed to listen to? Why would you say something that is very ignorant? Where are you getting all that information? These are the things that they hear at home. These are the things they have been raised knowing. And you definitely see it when a black person outshines them in something. For example, let's talk of like NBA. It makes them very uncomfortable, and they just don't talk about it, but they are made very uncomfortable because they think black people don't deserve anything. They should not be good at anything at all. They should be on the farms working for them because they are the race that is superior and they are the race that is actually human. For Most of them, I think, they don't look at Africans and black people as humans. They look at us as savages. And there's a video that I've done on that, my previous video. They think that we are savages, and they believe it so much so that their children are unable to differentiate what is even true from what is a lie, because they only base whatever they say on what their parents have told them, you know, what they have heard, the stories they have heard from their racist friends and families. That is all they know. And they actually think that black people are nothing and they don't deserve to be or even exist at all. Sometimes I even think if these people had the power, they would just like do away with everything that is from black people and finish all of them. Unfortunately for them, there is knowledge now, and Africans and black people in general have proven to them that we are not all that stupid. We are not as ignorant as they thought. And it will not be easy for them to just ride over us and we say nothing. It's not going to be easy anymore. If there's a time that they should have taken advantage of, it was those 400 years ago. Right now, it's not going to happen, and it is the end. We are in the end times of their reign, and it's going to really take a lot for them to ever put us in that situation again. And that's why they are always afraid of a black person winning, because they're always thinking if a black person comes to power, then it means that they are coming to do to them what they did to us. That is usually the fear, that is usually the worry, because they know what they did. They know what their forefathers did. They know what their ancestors were like. They were monsters, and they know it. They know everything that they did. They are not in any position to call black people savages. They're not in any moral position to call someone illegal in the United States, because themselves, they are illegal. So I don't know how they think we are going to work with that, but whatever that is for them, let's wait and see. But this time they're not up against weak people. They are up against intelligent people that are well-schooled, that are well-informed, and they are ready for this. Guys, thank you so much for those who have subscribed to my channel. If you are new here, kindly consider subscribing to me, and that will help the channel to grow. If you like this video, kindly give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you on my next one. Bye.